Hey everybody.
Wow.
Same day, same place, same bad channel. It's Matt, it's Dyan. Welcome back to Each Beautiful Day. I'm starting to think about the name of the channel, darling. Each Beautiful Day.
I know.
Who in their right mind chose that as a channel name?
Because that was the reality at the time.
Sure. Hey Google, what's the time?
10:01 p.m.
10:01 p.m.
10:01 p.m.
Dyan and I have been up since 3 a.m. this morning.
3 a.m. this morning.
We're up because Dyan's mind couldn't stop worrying around the whole housing issue.
Because I don't get it.
So I just wanted to give you a bit of an update. You saw a bit of a meltdown video in the last one. Again, if you haven't subscribed, why are we talking about this? Before that, we've had housing-related issues and we've been put at risk of homelessness. We are having to be told that we've got to move in the next 35, 40 days.
And
we've moved 7 times in about 4 years. Dyan's meant to be in affordable, accessible, secure,
high care needs
accommodation for disabilities under the NDIS, National Disability Insurance Scheme, and that's SDA, Specialist Disability Accommodation. So at 10:00 whatever PM it is, Dyan has been talking for the last 10 or 15 minutes. We're trying to actually watch Maths. Married at First Sight.
I know.
I'm trying to catch up what Tim's getting up to, but anyway.
He's cool.
And Lucinda.
But how can I
those
get
two.
into things?
This is the real stuff. So let's spill the goss. Let's actually bring everybody up to scratch because you're along with this journey to find out what our real life experience is. Disability living is.
I've got to cut my toenails. They're claws.
Okay. The weirdest shit she does. Now, her ADHD brain is going off. I need you to take that other medication and start unwinding.
Oh, my goodness.
Because if I don't medicate to help the sleep situation, we've got outings tomorrow. Here's the thing. I've got to go to my doctor's appointment at 9:30. Script update. That's a simple one. Race back so that I can then leave before 11 o'clock to take Dyan to her hour-long specialist appointment. So that's another hour of medication. And then we're actually waiting for the sports support coordinator to email me in the morning early to confirm that we might be going to do some more go-sees.
Yes.
More places to try and look at.
Because when we discussed it with her, like what I said to you, they tell me that I have to move because this place doesn't have what I need. But I'm going to a place that's not prepared
qualifying
to what I need.
And because
hasn't been qualified for SDA officially yet.
Yep. So let's put this context because we're trying to spill the beans of what's going on so that people go, what's it really like living with disability? Myself as a full-time carer, as well as a partner. I've said along the way, if you haven't, go back and have a look at the previous videos. So do subscribe, check them out. This system is really about separation. They want to separate the disability couples so that they're isolating the person with disability, and they'll provide supports and services. In fact, they'll provide incredibly high levels of supports in far as funding, but it doesn't mean that you actually get the supports. It's all about actually backfilling the income, the revenue generation for providers.
Everything that comes back to commodity levels.
So after the go-see today, all the way down in Coogee, we came back and I had to prepare a communication to the support coordinator and say, well, what was it all? And I was spending a long time writing this email and I sent it to a lovely lady, the support coordinator from District 360, hey Tanya, called me after hours to go, let's go through this. And it's like, you need to see some more properties. Already what I'm hearing is really concerning. But I wanted to have a chat about that because this is what's going around in your mind. Your mind hasn't stopped since the go-see, since the meltdown, since 3 o'clock this morning, since days before with the consternation towards what's going to happen and why we're in this position.
Where am I going to be living?
So this place that we saw today, what was wrong with it? When it's meant to be the highest level, platinum level, home and living housing.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. And it's meant to be all criteria for highest level of functioning care for SDA disability.
Best quality, etc. for my life.
That's not even registered.
No.
That's the first thing. So this property is actually not certified and qualified.
And it's the only one to choose from at this point, but there's...
We're trying to find more. We're desperately trying to find more.
So we're going to look at them.
So what does it mean by it's not being registered? What's the impact?
Okay, so basically the risk factors with that is that it might not ever get the same problem that I'm having here, have all of the legislative practices in place for my safety, which is what they determined that I must be in a safe place, but yet there isn't such a thing.
It's funny because we've now become experts in legislation, also guidelines under the NDS for SDA. Do you know what the rules are? So a simple thing. When we got to the property and were let in the front door into, the foyer, okay, the door, is it automated?
No.
So a person with disability, and this property is designed with 20 apartments. 15 of those are NDIS approved. The other five are free, but they've actually got disability people. Which means there could be people who've got psychosocial, other different things, but most of them will have some sort of disability, mobility, physical, because it's high functioning, most likely wheelchairs users. Yes. But that means nobody with a wheelchair or a mobility aid can get in or out of the front door to the actual apartment block because it's not automated. So that's a concern?
Yeah.
Okay. How big was the lift?
Very small.
Would your other wheelchair, the big wheelchair, like the Gopher?
No, it wouldn't fit.
Okay, so I'm glad we're getting rid of that one. But anyway, that's an interesting thing.
No, but the NDS say I've got that.
Right.
So they're could be putting me in a place that won't fit.
The apartment that you looked at and chose, does that have door automation on it?
Nope.
Can they transfer door automation from another one onto that one?
No, they're going to have to speak to, it's like, if they want to, they'll do it.
But they've got to look at your funding to see whether your funding can actually
put it in
first.
Yeah, they wanted my funding to do it,
benefit.
But the problem is, that's what same problem here.
Yeah.
No one wanted to do it here. Yeah. The SDA provider didn't want to do it, and nor did NDIS.
The car parking.
Same problem again.
Okay, but this is a really interesting thing for me.
Car parking out in a wide open space.
So for a person with disability, say it's 44 degrees.
Pouring with rain or 44 degrees.
Very hot. I've got to
seizure risk.
I can't take Dyan in the direct sun and wait for her to get in while I pack up the wheelchair in a hot car. So I have to turn the car on, get the air conditioning up, come back to a location to onboard her, which blocks the traffic flow for other people trying to get in and out. And same thing if we return, or if it's raining, I'd have to come in, pause, unboard her, and then go to the car parking spot and come back myself wet. Irregardless, but she getting in the car would get wet. So that's stupid, isn't it?
It's just, what about shopping? How would you find that? In the pissing down rain, and you got to get all the
backwards
shopping
and forwards
in the thing,
into a trolley,
race,
getting wet,
chucking it all in, getting wet, race to the doorway, undercover area, and jump into the lift.
And for most, I know that sounds like a small thing, but for a person in a wheelchair, big deal.
Yeah, but that trolley just for our food shopping.
Yeah.
To get it up there, and the pantry's half the size, the bins are half the size, and this is small already.
Okay, so a lot of things are small. In the bathroom that comes off your disability
ensuite.
It's like a tiny ensuite. I couldn't fit a hoist in there.
Imagine if I used my Tilton space that they wanted me to use.
That wouldn't work, and I couldn't use a hoist to actually hoist you into the toilet
you can't hoist
or
me
the
in
bath
there.
if we were to do that.
No.
Yeah.
You can't hoist me in and out now.
No, it's no bath, so it's only a shower.
So I'm not safer.
No.
So they say that I'm supposed to go there to be safer, but I won't be safer because you can't hoist me out of the bath in an emergency if I was seizing in the bath and get me into the bed.
I said to the guy when we were looking at it today, we have to actually take that door off.
The door came
and
off,
we probably have to take that door off because they've got doors that open up and they're very wide doors for wheelchairs. But you can't get around with a wheelchair around the door. So an OT would say you have to actually remove the door.
And if I had to flood my bath, which is the bath is like a door opens for emergency flood, because if you're seizing, of course, you need to drain immediately, get me out, and basically there is not enough. There's two little drains like this. This.
So that wouldn't
function. So that wouldn't function.
Okay,
it would flood all into the main bedroom.
Do you have enough space where the bed is to the wall to be able to get around to the cupboards on the other side in your wheelchair?
Still can't do that in my wheelchair, just like the problem is here, which the OTs have identified.
So that's a functional thing every day.
Yes,
to be able to get to clothes to get to the cupboard in your own wheelchair, so you couldn't do that. Okay. Yes. There's so many things.
There's no washing machine and dryer, and we sold ours because this was meant to be lifetime, and this was our one here. So we don't get to take that. So we're without one.
We had to get rid of our white goods to be able to fit it. Oh, here's the other funny thing is our fridge doesn't fit. So they'll have to actually cut off the panel in the kitchen to enable the fridge. And they pay for that part. But then he said,
he said, oh, well, it's not going to look very pretty, but, it'll do.
It'll do.
So this is my forever home.
For the next 10, 20, 30 years. But is it?
But,
let's talk about that.
They want to make it
security.
Yucky.
Can I talk to you about the water bill? What was your understanding of how you pay water rates? Couple of dollars. How much? When? How long?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
A week? A month?
That didn't make sense to me.
So
over my head.
Trying to get direct communication from the BDA.
So can we sign up for long term?
Hold on, before you go, the water. Let's not focus on that.
Yes.
A couple of dollars a week contribution towards the water usage. Now, that sounds lovely, but then they've actually got individual meters of water per unit, so they can actually differentiate the usage. And of course, water usage has become quite substantial. Being a pensioner, Dyan has a 50% discount with the Water Corporation, which would need to be applied. But it's not a couple of bucks a week. It would be probably $15 or $20 a week in water use, or maybe.
Yeah, we pay about $60 on average here every
fortnight, bi-monthly, so that makes sense. So $30 a month.
Yeah, 15.
Basically. So yes, let's say $10 a week, basically.
Rebate.
So, but why do you have to lock those things down? Is you need to be able to budget. You need to know, can you afford what you're doing? So they've got an incentive at the moment to try and get people in to fill their stock up. But
nothing's set up. It's not complete.
Can you get a long contract? How long is their contract?
No, because that's what we asked, and he said that 12 months.
Standard contract. So
and when we said a couple of years, he's like, well, we start off with 12 months, but then we'll just keep going.
So we need to lock down...
market value can change rent, but we try and keep it down. And then he said,
try to keep it down.
Well, you can be here for 20 years, but we can't sign a contract right now for 20 years.
And that we can't lock in what we're paying. And just like here, we've just been put into a situation where $450 a fortnight rent increase has just been given to us. Now, $450, we have to try and find that as pensions. Do we have $450 as pensions given to us?
No, it wouldn't be sustainable at all.
I'd actually need
without other costs.
Another job apart from being a full-time 24/7 carer with you to do that.
And,
I need a job. Get me a job, someone quick, I used to have a job, but I stopped my career and my businesses 6 or 7 years ago. Why was that?
Because of me. And
to support you around the clock, because the health system wasn't
daily rolling, in and out of hospital, couldn't control the seizures. But basically, the thing is, it should be affordable. That is the SDA way. So I don't understand why SDA is acting like they don't exist in the scenario. It's like we're just in private.
Well, who do you think most likely...
Why are they not looking after me? But yet they say they're concerned about me being here for my care, but yet they're going to put me in a place that's worse care.
So understand that the
doesn't make sense.
specialist disability accommodation is not means tested. So it doesn't matter on your income. You could be a millionaire and still be able to access really SDA accommodation. And that's fine if you're lucky enough to be in that position where you've got income or jobs or career or capability. But for those that don't, most people, the 6% of people who are on the NDS who are able to access disability accommodation, the majority of those are actually on the DSP, disability support pension, because they're so severely
that's how sick we are.
Functionally not able to function.
That's how much of a carer we need.
That's why they need that. So they're not normally able to work a job, let alone a full-time or a good paying job. So I don't understand the system. So having an incentive to get in, to lock you in for the first year, but then being told after that hey, the rent might go up.
Yeah, but you know what you're there to do.
We'll be doing the same thing again. No, they'd be move number 8 in less than 5 years.
Like here, they probably want us to establish the place, like we've done here, and then they'll try and move us on and get people that pay more money.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. That's what
it feels like it's happening again.
Yep, so they're getting bums on seat, or in this case, they're getting dollar signs in because they're getting people into
and the fact that he said 2 years made me go, boom, we were here 2 years, they want us out within 2 years.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, okay, you want us here for 2 years, and then you're like, oh, you won't be paying enough, so the market value, we try and keep it down, but it's a risk.
And
it's ambiguous.
And I don't know if I've explained this, because I've had to engage with the NDIS, the NDS Home and Living team. That's the Home and Living team. That's the team inside the NDS that you can't get to. They're not front-facing, so there's no email or phone number. They're a secret squirrel club. But they're the ones who determine everything.
Of a back dark
and they don't transfer community awareness. So what I mean by that is, under the Department of Community and Housing, those people who are in the Department of Community Housing you've got a fixed rent, which is again only 25% of your disability income. So they can't go above that.
Contribution, because
rental.
when you look at accounting,
people can't afford that. You think it'll apply to NDS? No, it doesn't.
You know, when you look at accounting, when I was doing financial counselling in my job when I was in welfare, basically you should only really pay 25% of what you've got coming in on your accommodation.
Yep.
Now, look, guys, I know that is just not happening for everyone, and I get that. But my medical expenses on top of this.
As I said, Clete, we can't afford half the medicines that Dyan actually needs.
Medical is another industry that is just money.
Yeah, well, especially big pharma. That's what they call big pharma.
It's all about money.
They're getting plenty of money.
It's all about money.
And look,
they make me go broke.
We're on the PBS, the pharmaceutical benefits scheme, but many medications are not PBS,
on purpose,
even with PBS threshold. So that's a cost of living.
That,
and we all understand that there's cost of in WA. WA is the worst state of Australia. It's like 3% rental housing market available. So we can't go into the private market. We can't do those things. We don't have choices. Anymore. So it's scary going into a place that when we know what SDA guidelines are for meeting housing standards, and we look at this place and we go, but all of these things aren't actually meeting standards again.
Yeah.
And then it's reliance on the sales pitch. It's a bit like a mobile phone sales pitch.
But there's no contract, there's no legal binding documents. No. SDA's not involved to promise us and reassure us that my high-level care that you want for me, SDA, is going to be guaranteed to be quality. You're not going to even check on me.
It's a free market, and they're not moderated. They're not actually
they're not moderated, and they're not approved yet.
Not approved. So we will be entering. So to do this, we have to enter into this property under what's known as MTA. That's mid-term accommodation. That comes out of Dyan's funding, and then once they get accredited, they go into the SDA mode.
What's the point?
But our concern is, are we going to be rinsing, repeating, doing the exact same thing again?
I do believe
we get a heart set into it. We build community. We feel settled, and then suddenly they go, "Here's a Form 10. You just got a rent increase, and it's gone up."
Yeah.
And then the next year it's got up more.
Do that.
And then it's like, well, hold on.
Because it's market value. That's where they get their extra money.
I'm scared. I'm really, really concerned.
Same.
And I'm thinking, well, how do I function? How do I function with a car out there? I can't get you in the front. You still can't get into the front door or go in or out of your own apartment building. Now, the letterboxes are at a great height. You can get to the letterbox. Hey, that's a win. I thought about that.
But I can't get out the door.
There's only one lift. So there was a conversation around that, because if the lift breaks or has to do maintenance, Dyan in a wheelchair from 3 stories can't go down the steps by herself in the wheelchair.
What am I going to do?
I'd have to carry you again with my dodgy knee, which busted last time that we had a fire in the building. I had to carry.
It'll take me a long time if I had to hold the rail and go down. And
so look, they'll have on-call people come out to fix the lift, but that's the problem.
Myself.
At least here we've got 2 lifts. So if one lift breaks, you've got a redundancy. There's no. So the stairs is not a redundant feature for a person with disabilities.
And it looks really hot.
Here's the other funny thing, because we learned about fire and safety, because remember we actually had a fire in this building at 4:30 in the morning, and I had to evacuate and carry Dyan out. So I had the conversation because we've learned, it's like, what's your fire evacuation plan? You've got these beautiful floor plans on the door. That's great. But then I looked at them and go, hold on, where's your evacuation? Okay, so
they have a master point.
No, they don't. That's the thing.
What was that little yellow thing of saying you were here
that's
and
where you are.
Go there?
No, that's where the exits are there, but then you all just stop just suddenly at the road, and it's like there's no muster point.
You just stand in the road?
Yeah, right in the middle where all the fire and the emergency services are going to turn up. But here's another kicker. The fire alarms in this building aren't connected to the fire brigade.
Somebody has to call.
So even if the fire alarms go off, you still have to pick up the phone and call 000 and say, hey, there is a fire in the building. I don't know if you know this. You need to come help. Crazy, isn't it? So we have to create our own personal emergency evacuation plan. That's okay. We'll work that out.
It's critical because this is why they wanted me moved.
For your safety.
And I still don't have a hoist that can take me from my bed along the roof all the way to my bathroom.
Oh, no, you have to get funding for that for yourself. Yeah, so you can get that, but you'd have to go to AT, request that, get an OT.
Correct.
And it might be 6 months before that put in. So you walk into the property, but for 6 months or more, you wouldn't actually have that equipment.
So why do they want me in high care then?
Because they recognise that you need high
I
care
know, but they're saying they
disability
can't
services.
afford to actually truly give it.
The room, so it's a 2-bedroom apartment. Okay.
Would you call it that?
He called it an office. Did you hear that? All the time he referred to it.
That's so
The second
true.
bedroom, he called it an office.
Boom.
Did you know? You didn't notice that, did you? Now you realise it. Because if you were to put a bed in there, like I've obviously got a double.
Yeah,
it's a queen bed. Sorry, it's a queen bed.
Yeah.
So I've got a queen bed.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be any room for anything else. So it is really an office size. So that's what they refer to. And then I go into my bathroom, the ensuite bathroom. The sink is a small. I've seen bigger sinks in RVs and caravans.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, that's how you're going to shave and clean your teeth.
Yeah.
It's literally an RV would have a bigger sink. That was really interesting. There wasn't any cupboard. Was there a cupboard? There's no cupboard even.
There was.
No. Because your bathroom didn't have cupboards either.
No. Did you have a wardrobe?
I've got a wardrobe like you, which has got the glass mirror doors that go open.
Okay. So what are you saying?
In the bathroom,
you had no cupboards.
No cupboards, and you've got no cupboards.
No, you had tiny cupboards.
Did I? So I was like
ridiculously
small. So like the shoebox size, almost.
Yeah, like the one that's in my one that's put on the wall.
Right. So that shoebox is you
size.
meant to put all your things in there.
Oh, it's less than a shoebox.
It really is like living in a hotel. You know how you have a suitcase.
Yeah, like you're
meant to live out of a suitcase, and then you go to the bathroom and I can put my shaver and my toothpaste and my deodorant and my aftershave, and that's all you need to put into the little thing, because that's all.
It's like you're in hospital.
I went to live there for the next 30 years.
I don't know about that.
I think, well, put it in the context. Now, we talked about community while we're there, because there's got 20 apartments. And I thought, well, that's fantastic. We've got 20 other disability people.
Yeah, wonderful.
How are we going to meet together and build community and do community, maybe do a bingo night or a games day or coffee catch-up. There's no foyer. There's no room for the community.
There's no common room,
there's no common room.
Common area.
So you have to go, everybody come over to my apartment, which is a bit of an invasion on your own privacy.
Well, the apartments aren't big enough.
And they wouldn't fit, you wouldn't fit 3 people in there. You certainly wouldn't fit 20 people. And most of those people would have supports, their own carers. So it's +1 all the time.
Etc.
So you couldn't do it.
No.
I know, we could all go to the car park. Good sunny day. Let's all go meet in the car park and have a catch up and have a chat. Do they actually think about the planning around specialist disability accommodation under the NDS? So this is why Dyan's brain hasn't switched off, and I'm so sorry. And
because
pump the medications to try and get some sleep tonight. I'm exhausted.
It's not doable, and I don't want to have to say that, because I know how much.
But this is why the lovely Tanya from District 360, she's the CEO over there, our
she's
support
onto
coordinator,
it.
level
She's
2, level
like,
3.
no, this
and she's just going through my email and going, oh. Because there are obligations, the things that they are required to put into place, things that they're expected to do.
They want me out of here because certain things aren't done, and they refuse to get this place properly registered.
Like they won't address that, so
but they want to send me to another place, and they'll approve it. That's even less set up for me. What?
Do you feel safer?
What? No. What?
Do you feel that you've got long-term secure accommodation available to you?
Oh, gosh, no.
Do you think from
2 years. I reckon we got 2 years. That's it.
Do you think from the sales pitch...
Yeah.
That there's, again, because we've had sales pitches when we came into this place, which I asked for in writing.
But he was less keen, this one, than the one here.
He was very keen to get somebody...
was over keen. And now he wants us out because he wants more money.
Yeah.
But this one,
sadly,
he's just a boy. But he was just like,
he's a
whatever.
Nice guy, and he was patient.
Nice guy. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
It was so embarrassing. It was like
what?
Almost every second thing that he touched was broken. So the first place he walked into, he didn't walk into because he couldn't open the door. What? He tried 8 times. He then went to the apartment next door and he worked out how to get in. He came back he still couldn't get in. So the door didn't work.
Do you know how they fire doors and stuff?
Yeah.
Not in the top level that we chose.
Yeah.
Out of the 3 levels, we chose the top one.
Yeah.
In level 2.
Yeah.
There were gaps on the side and the bottom of the doors.
Yep.
That's not fireproof. And the bugs.
Not for the smoke immersion in a fire safe environment.
The bugs.
She's getting better. She's actually noticing these things. I know. Good girl. You did well.
And I'm like, that's not going to stop a fire.
No.
This is going to bellow the smoke in, and it's a small area. Yeah. You're going to be like, jump over the balcony, shall I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny. So here's some more stories about the fire.
Where do I put my rope?
He showed me the fire panel in the front foyer, and he was saying, "Oh, look, there's some other properties that we had, and if the fire goes off, the person who's on overnight, the carer, they'll be trained to know how to go and have a look at the fire panel, to go and investigate the smoke, and deactivate the fire panel, making sure that they've had a look first to work out where the fire's coming from, and then call the fire brigade
if it's a real fire."
He said, oh, look, I got some phone calls the other night, and I only saw them in the morning because they came in after 1 o'clock, and I didn't get to them. But then I got to them, and I phoned them back, and it's like, oh, they had the fire alarm going off, and it went off the whole night, and they couldn't work out how to deactivate and turn it off. And of course, they're contacting him to try and work it out. Of course, he's asleep. So, okay, that's really feeling positive. So after the first door that we couldn't get into, we came into an actual apartment that we could look at. So the first thing he touched, I don't know what he touched, he touched the drawer. And we've got this dishwasher.
And it wouldn't close.
He opened the dishwasher, but he couldn't close the dishwasher.
It's like it kind of like
I'm just going to note that down. I'm going to have to report that.
Yeah.
We know it's new. We know there's going to be teething problems.
No.
Everything he kept touching kept breaking.
No. It's cheap build.
It
looks like it's almost like a cheap motel.
Yep. And he said, look, I haven't got the keys for the storeroom, which is a separate storeroom next to you. But he touched the handle and it opened anyway in the locked position. It's like, that lock's not working. Oh, well, that's great. We can have a look into see the size. But the lock wasn't working.
But someone could just break in.
Someone could just break in as well on that.
Yeah. No guarantee.
We want to be positive.
You've got 2 years.
We are trying so hard to feel positive. Not your fault, Tony.
I really don't want to be negative, but I feel like if I don't speak now, forever hold your peace. No, if I don't speak now,
but that's why I've documented all this.
Then I'm concerned. No, hang on. Yes, what I'm saying is like.
What are you saying?
So the Echolalia just took me on a different tangent.
That's
okay. But let's get back to it. The reason why I'm alarmed is because I know.
Unlike their alarm, which is not alarmed.
Cut it out. Just stop. Okay. So basically, what I'm worried about is the stress on him. So I'm trying to avoid.
Forget that. I'm sorry.
No, I don't want in 2 years' time more stress on you again, and we just start again. And it's like, what is the point in this? Why we keep going and doing these circles of going here, going there? Because that's what it feels like it's going to be. Just like the private rental market for other people. And that's not fair on their mark, don't get me wrong. But when you're disabled,
absolutely,
it is a nightmare.
But it's 100 times harder.
And it sets me back a year.
Because when there's not a
I've had to cancel all my medical appointments, everything at the hospital. It is not
stopped on
good.
Pause. Which means she doesn't get treatment or care. She doesn't get ongoing management because we don't have the time. We have to do this as a priority.
And I'm alarmed at what I'm hearing because it's
I love that word alarm. So I keep laughing when I hear you say that because the alarms don't work at this place.
Stop. But it's worse than when we moved in here and what was promised, what was said, and how it came across.
Yeah.
And now analysing this the same way. It's like there's even less guarantee of the place we're going now.
I apologise to the guy saying, look, I'm so sorry I'm having to ask so many questions. But
the problem is he's admin, he's not disability. It's really stupid that we have to speak to someone in admin.
He's a sales rep.
Who doesn't even know what disability needs
are.
He's a
business
and he's like, I don't know. And it's like, but you need to know because I need to know. Because I need to go and tell my OTs and my support coordinator and everybody else that this is all okay. But no, you're an admin. No offence. You're a great guy. Cool dude. But I'm just saying, you're not disability. We're in trouble.
Oh, there's no disability car parks in the entire building or even outside.
Did you notice that white car with his
car
was parked crooked?
Oh, no, over 2 days.
I actually thought, though, that maybe that was the person that had moved in because only one person's
moved in. Did you know
No, wait. I thought that maybe they did it on purpose because they had a wheelchair problem.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
All the bay, this is the other thing that comes under disability standards for car parks. Apart from the disability standards for car parking under the SDA is meant to be that you've got covered car parking, so it's out of the wind and sun and rain.
The door was up too.
It's also meant to be wider. You know Acrod bays. Acrod is the system of the blue bays where it's wider so that you can open your door to get in and get out of your wheelchair. These are all narrow bays. So nothing is disability friendly in that regard. There is no Acrod bay in even the visitor car park. And even outside around I haven't seen one, even in the car park across the street. Now,
not one.
Just remember too, for Acrod, if you've got an Acrod sticker and there's no Acrod bay around, you can actually park in the middle of 2 bays based on WA law for legislation. You won't be fined because you've got a visible Acrod sticker because there's no Acrod bay presented. Just wanted to know. But you couldn't do that inside of a strata, which is designated 1 bay per person.
For other people, correct. So, you know what? We don't know what's going to happen.
We don't know what's going to happen.
Watch this space.
That's why you're subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, do so right now.
Forget the cruise drama. This is homeless drama.
Can we go and live on a cruise ship?
Yeah.
Where would we put the car?
But I'll get seasick. Forget it.
For God's sake.
Basically, and then I'll probably need like some kind of high specialist, and then they'll have to ship me off and fly me somewhere.
And then there'll be some sort of contagion on the cruise ship.
Oh,
we'll all end up dying.
But anyway, we are doomed. We're doomed. Nice to know you. I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to be on the street in my wheelchair cleaning windscreens. That'll be me.
That could be my second job.
Just be nice and just.
I thought
I'll take 20 cents. I'll take 20 cents.
I thought last night.
Maybe OnlyFans.
In my 2.5 hours of sleep.
OnlyFans.
You can do OnlyFans. I was going to become an Uber driver.
You're going to become an Uber driver, and I'm going to do OnlyFans.
Yeah, I thought. Well, I could do that while I've got a couple hours at night time. I could go and get some extra money.
What am I talking about? Catholic kind of person going to do like OnlyFans. Like seriously. I wouldn't know what to do.
So the challenge is real.
What do they want?
I thought we'd capture this moment because we are again. We're trying to show the reality. This is the stress.
I'm laughing because I'm stressed and I want to cry.
That's what she wants to do. She's stressed. We're trying to watch Married at First Sight, but I'm eating her hair.
Sorry.
She can't do it.
I've got too much hair.
And
it's ridiculous.
Tomorrow I'm thinking.
Not to be envied.
We need a week's break for now. We usually
I
cover
need a
from
lifetime to
Malaysia.
repeat again.
But I'm dragging you out to the doctor's clinic. I'm going to the doctor's clinic. Then we're going to do a go-see.
This is the cool doctor. This is the cool doctor.
Can you wait to tell him, because he hasn't found out yet.
Oh my
You're going to tell him.
He's going to be like, boom.
He's going to say, you need to get a tent.
I know.
He told us that last time.
I know.
The homeless situation here in Perth.
I know. He's probably going to say that again, but
it mainly affects those people with disabilities who are really struggling to find affordable and accessible living accommodation.
Help, doctor. He can't help me. He can't help with housing. No. But I'm just saying, like, this is the good doctor to kind of go, like, yeah, let's do all the medical stuff, but I'm going to be homeless.
Yeah. I'm
going to be homeless.
And I want to put this in context for you, and this is what I've said. Excuse me, you rack off over there.
Okay,
I'll push it.
It's the higher mattress until my other mattress comes back.
Yeah, that's why you're rolling.
Hill. It's like rolling over the hill.
See this?
Holy crap!
Oh my god! It's a 12-centimetre gap.
Hang on,
she does literally roll over.
Don't show me knickers.
The whole idea of the housing market and the incentivification from the NDIS is to encourage investors to get into providing appropriate dwellings.
But we are homeless.
To provide stock because there's a desperate need for them.
Oh my god.
They get highly incentivized. Now they do get 14 to 16% investment income from that. Their provider, the SDA provider, gets obviously 30% from the owner. They can still take money from the other supports that they put in place as a commission as well. So that could be anywhere up to 50%, which is also coming from the participants' budget at the end of the day. All these things do come from the participants' budget to make profit for other people, to cover their operational costs, but also to give that incentive for them to be in the industry and to obviously make an investment profit off the government money, off taxpayers' money. I really think the system's broken. Anyway, just saying that.
Eat your fruit.
Oh, God, don't even go. Dyan hasn't been eating properly today. This is what this stress also causes. You've had chocolate.
I had some chocolate finger biscuits. I had some...
If I have any chocolate Easter eggs in my bed again this morning when I wake up, you're in trouble.
Ice cream. I had...
Chocolate seems to be the theme at the moment.
I had...
Nutella, which is chocolate.
That was this morning. Nutella on crackers.
I'm just saying there's a lot of chocolate in her diet theme at the moment.
Some chocolate, and I had...
Forget that. All right, so look, this is us just dumping Dyan's brain at the moment, sharing the ADHD, OCD, autism thought processes.
No, it's not dumping my brain. But before we go, because we must go.
We are going.
We're keeping
we don't get some
long. But guys, good luck. Yeah. Basically, what I'm saying is, this is a puzzle that I cannot solve. Because I'm sorry, I cannot justify taking myself out of somewhere that is meeting more needs than going to somewhere that's going to meet less needs when they said they're concerned about my needs.
But we can't find $450 addition to pay for their rent increase to make more profit.
And we can't do that either. So we're homeless.
Yeah. With
disability.
That's ridiculous.
22
We actually looked at, here's another funny thing, okay, I'm going to throw this into, because I was speaking to the commission as part of this huge meeting with so many people, the home and living team were there. And I said, well, look, can we go down to a single bedroom? Okay,
yeah, because
we will, just to be affordable, we'll go to a one bedroom for the next 30 or 40 years.
Bed.
We'll live in the smallest place possible, one bedroom. And I said, no, Dyan's not allowed to do that for her safety.
Yeah,
I'm thinking,
because of all my medical problems.
Okay, so we have to be in a 2-bedroom accommodation, but we can't afford it. Which means then when we can't afford it, she's homeless to not be safe.
They want you to go away, be somewhere else and visit, and they'll pay like registered nurses 24/7, which would cost about what, $300,000 a year?
$300,000 a year to
like,
provide
come
supports to
on,
you.
Government, you're stupid.
But I don't get paid anything because I'm an informal
disrespect
carer.
Informal supports, because they are the backbone of this industry, because there's so many carers that do it for nothing.
So I just want to put that out because a lot of people don't understand the truth of the context behind that. So if you thought I was getting paid, I get the carer's pension. A aged pension is actually $100 more per fortnight.
Yes, than both of
aged pension is $100 more a fortnight than the carer's pension.
And the single
I work
disability.
24/7. So for example, today I have had 3 hours sleep. And that's been work all the way around that. I was doing emails at 4 o'clock this morning, apart from looking after Dyan, feeding her, changing her bedding, the whole time. So that's my sort of work day every day. And I have to know legislation. I have to be a physio, a chiro, a doctor, a nurse, a counsellor. You know, I'm all those things to you in this role, aren't I?
Yes, and they don't respect like the role that you play.
Disney. Yep.
And I'm just really sick of it, because they are the people that, why can't you just support them?
Yep.
It's cheaper for the taxpayers. Taxpayers, you should be angry because it is wasting your money. They want to purposely waste your money to create an economy. I'm a commodity. I'm a commodity, and imagine if you had a syndrome where basically your 50s could be your end.
Yep.
Would you want your partner going to work every day, or would you want to be with them and spend maximum quality time and have them as your primary carer?
Going to work, getting phone calls and having to come home because she's having seizures.
Yes.
Or on the weekend, I was at the hospital until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Getting home, getting 2 hours sleep, hopping on the freeway to go off to do my day job.
Yeah.
That was my life. Trying to live, and that was every weekend.
For 20-something years, it's ridiculous.
And you wonder why I look...
And we've raised 2 taxpayers.
I'm only 25 years of age, and I look this... I'm not.
We raised 2 taxpayers.
Yep, we did.
Boom.
Indeed. So look, that's an insight. I just wanted to give you an update.
Yeah.
There are exceptional circumstances inside of the NDS legislation for when problems like this exist. Did you know that? That the NDS can actually support the participant if they're in an unsafe situation or there's no other options. We have clearly defined there's no other options.
There's no other options.
Dyan is at risk of homelessness in her condition.
I don't know how many days.
Regular daily seizures amongst everything else that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
But that's okay. She can live in the back of a car. We can put our stuff in storage. Did you know if you're homeless, by the way, you can't go into accommodation together in homeless accommodation? They separate the males and the females. So Dyan will be by herself, and she couldn't have, again, her full-time carer look after her because of her disability needs in a homeless situation. Again, that's why we need a tent. We need to go and find, I don't know, some government land and just park ourselves there and wait for the world to change.
I know, it's a
That's our
insight.
World, sorry, guys, I'm not trying to bring it down, but I'm trying to create the reality of what we're going through.
Guys.
This is a stress. Join the conversation. If you've got some experience in this, some feedback, some ideas, I'd love to hear your ideas and suggestions below. We've learned a lot along the way. It is a cautionary tale.
If you're in the system.
Absolutely. And probably maybe some education and awareness, because a lot of people aren't aware. This is the realness.
This is the facts.
Indeed.
This is the realness.
Big thumbs up of encouragement. Comments below. Share so other people can hear our story. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in another episode, probably tomorrow. It better not be at 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, it won't be. Thanks for
Thank
listening,
God. See you guys. Bye.